We're on. We're back. Three guys, many games. We have I wouldn't call it a substitute. We got our two guys. We're waiting on Smalley. He's a little bit behind, but I'll let Vinny introduce our guest this week.
We have a guest of honor with us today, the legendary Frank Tashman. Let me give you a little background on Frankie T, who was, and I'll start it by saying he was recently inducted into the Nassau County Sports Hall of Fame. So that speaks for itself. But he's an all Long Island football player from Sewanaka, an All-American from Sewanaka, a Nassau County and Long Island champion at Sewanaka, moved on to Adelphi, well, first Nassau, where he was an All-American and national champ there, and then on to the Long Island Lacrosse Club, where he won numerous championships, and he was at the World Team Tryouts. And so we have him here today because he's not only a great player, great athlete, but he's a great friend. And maybe his best accomplishment yet, he's a new grandfather with little Angelo. So, welcome to the podcast, Frankie T.
All right, we had a big week in lacrosse. Obviously, first round of the playoffs. A lot of obviously chatter going in with the brackets. It always is talked about, who got snubbed, who, is this the right way to pick it? General sense, in the first time in about 15 or 18 years, every seeded team won. So that, you're down the number 9 to number 17 are all out of the tournament. You're down to the cream of the crop. Those games, Vin, did you expect anything different there?
I thought there'd be maybe an upset here or there, lower seed team. But, we, as on our last cast, we spoke about the seeding, and obviously the seeding was correct because all 8 seed team, 1 through 8 all won their games. So, hard to argue with how they positioned them. And some of the games weren't even very close, but some were. So it's on to round 2, where it's going to get a little tighter.
In the games on Saturday, you had, Virginia was a team that was coming off of 4 losses. There were people talking about them, maybe they should be out, and they take on, they give them a, decent seed. They play St. Joe's, and they pretty much, attacked St. Joe's and put them right out of the box quick. And the attackman becomes, I believe he broke the record. He broke the record in this game. I think he scored 8 goals ultimately.
Yeah, shout out to Cormier for becoming the all-time NCAA goal scorer. He's at 222 and counting. Mac, we love you, Mac O'Keefe, who we know since he's a kid. His dad played with us, and he was phenomenal in his career. Records are made to be broken. But I want to hear from Frankie T, who's not only didn't play the game, but he coached a national championship team. And so I think he knows what goes into, getting ready for these games when you hit this level of play. What's your take, Frank, on this tournament?
Well, I thought Lehigh hung pretty tough for a while from what I saw in the Hopkins team. Am I correct about that? Ben, did you hear me with that?
Yeah, you're very low.
No, I said
we're having some technical difficulties.
I thought Lehigh gave, Hopkins a little bit of a run up until like the last 10 minutes. Am I right on that?
Right. Yes, they did.
But listen, Virginia was the team that everybody was going after, and they started out really good. I mean, they had a little bit of a lull at the end there, but I'm picking them. That's my team. I think is gonna come through. I think they're gonna win the whole thing. That's my opinion.
Wow, that's an interesting pick.
Notre Dame's loaded up. Every team that's still in it right now obviously has a chance to win it. So, but I just think Virginia, they score a lot of goals, and their defense is very good. And they seem to get on a little run. This week is going to be very interesting for them, I think, too. What do you think?
Well, listen, I think when you're getting down to the look, it almost looks like it could be heading for an all ACC. They might have to hold another ACC tournament, right. Basically. With what's left here, you could see all 4 ACC teams winning this weekend, and all of them ending up in the the Final 4. We'll see.
I think with Virginia, it's like you're dealing with the law of averages. They go on a 4-game losing streak. So the law of averages says, now they might go on a 4-game winning streak, and 4-game winning streak makes them win the I mean, the ACC, moving on Saturday, Duke, played the team from out west, Utah, took control of the game very early and never looked back. The games on Saturday that sort of were the ones that people really had an eye on. Michigan comes in red hot as Big Ten champ and goes out to Denver, and Denver jumps on them. They made a little bit of a run, Michigan, to try to come back, but they never really could recover from a lead that they gave up early in the game. I don't know if you got a chance to see that one, Vin.
Yeah, I mean, I think it started out 9-1. They were down, Michigan, which, like you said, I mean, uh, Michigan comes off a game that I said if they could have bottled how they played against Penn State, they would definitely be a threat to the whole tournament. But they played as good as they could that day, and maybe the travel to go. That's why home games like that, where you're traveling across the country, might matter, seem to matter at least. And I think that Denver plays a physical style. The matchups were good, were favorable for Denver, and but I just was surprised that the way they jumped on them, like you said, they made a bit of a run. But especially, it's so funny because it looked like Denver's going in the other direction. They get beat by Villanova, right? They didn't even get past the first round in the Big East tourney. They lose in the first round, and here you come again, who was a low seed in their Big Ten tournament, and they win the tournament. So, obviously, I picked. I thought Michigan would win that game in the pool. I thought that they might go out there as hot as they played, but it's all about matchups.
Frank, I'll throw this one to Frank. The other,
What?
yeah, you're gonna have to you have to do a little shouting with that microphone you got there. But the other game on Saturday, which I thought was the biggest surprise, was Maryland. It shouldn't surprise you with Tillman the way he
Nah,
prepares his team, but
he's the
they were
best.
down. Yeah, they come out, against the lone Ivy team and jump all over a very confident Princeton team and looked strong doing it. They seem like they could be a real threat. Do you think Maryland is a team that, even though people sort of had them down, could be a dangerous team in the quarterfinals moving forward?
I think any team that Tillman coaches, especially getting this far, he's a once in a generation. I think he's the most prepared, guy I've ever seen in the last 10, 12 years. He gets his teams ready. I don't know if he has the firepower to maybe win the whole thing, depending on who they would play. But they're very capable of winning this game. Absolutely. I mean, they don't have all those big power guns that they used to have, but he finds ways to win. He finds ways to get them prepared, and they always seem prepared. I wouldn't bet against them. That's for sure.
Well, I think their goalie always keeps them in it. He's a good start. The fact that he can get hot, and he's shown in the past that he can sort of carry them at times. Vin, do you think that surprised you that how strong they came out? I mean, are they a team that seriously can potentially that Duke game is going to be a monster game this Saturday at Hofstra? Is that a winnable game for Maryland?
Yeah, I mean, look, that's another team that looked like they were trending downward, right? And they lose their high scorer. I think the kid Irks. I don't think he played the other day, and he was their high
No, he played.
scorer.
He
Oh,
played.
he did. He
He
played.
got it, but sparingly. They put him at midfield. That was smart too. They,
Yeah,
let
man.
him get his
Okay.
feet under him. They didn't put him against poles. He was
Yeah,
playing
he's
cross
dangerous.
with him.
I mean, he's dangerous, and but like I said, they seem to be struggling to score, and then all of a sudden they have an explosion against Princeton. Whereas Princeton looked great in the Ivy League final game against Penn. They were moving the ball. I mean, they were getting shots. They were scoring goals. It was like so. All of us, we think we really know the game. Just when you really think you can predict, you see these games, they go totally opposite of what you would think, and it's happened this year, I think. But at the end of the day, like I said, the cream always rises, and it seems like the the four best teams may end up there. You know, the ones with the deepest roster and the athletes.
So Sunday comes along, Frankie, and I think you mentioned this. Lehigh in a crazy weather related game where multiple stoppages because of weather, you know, might have stunted their effort. I mean, they were right there with Hopkins right to the very end. You know, I'm sure in your long storied career, you had to deal with weather related stoppages and things like that. Do you think that could have hurt Lehigh in terms of what they were building as a potential upset and stopping
Well,
their momentum during the game?
actually, they weren't probably as deep as Hopkins. So if they were going to ride on emotion, like some of it that they were, and they had tied it up once or twice, definitely the stoppage of play hurt them. Because I don't think they're as deep as Hopkins, but they gave them a good run for a while. But at the end, I think Hopkins just had too many horses for them. But you'd be laughing about what you said about the weather back in our day. Vinny, I don't think we ever had a rain delay. I don't think I've ever been involved with a lightning delay. Never. We played in everything. Typhoons. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
Refs weren't getting paid if the game wasn't played, so the refs would make you play. So it was. We played in a lot of crazy mud games in our day, but never remember a game getting canceled for lightning or anything like that. Did you ever have that?
Yeah, a few times we've had games, when I continued playing, a long time into the latter part of my career. I think rain never mattered, but lightning, is a real concern. So, when they see these lightning strikes, they I don't know what the wait time is, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, whatever it is, but, you get a couple of them. It definitely is. It's not easy to gear yourself up again, especially if you're getting wet and you got to go back in the locker room and
If
go
you
out.
remember, Vin, if you remember when it was, I think it was 2000. I think they had chosen to play the semifinals of MLL. You got the home game, and we were at Hofstra, and we were playing Jalbert and Curry and Head
Jersey Pride,
and
yeah.
the Jersey guys. And I don't remember if the game stopped or if it was just at half. But I do remember how it was like a deluge. I mean, the
Yeah, no,
turf
it
was a
stopped.
different
It
color.
stopped. It
Right,
stopped because of the lightning. We were
right,
playing it through the heavy rain.
right,
The lightning hit, and we ended up going upstairs to
right.
Margiata Hall.
Exactly. And it didn't hurt us. Or maybe it hurt them because we came out and we smoked them after.
Yeah.
It was like, maybe we were better in tune for it. Maybe the home field advantage, but you know, it's not easy. You go like in that situation, you go in, your stuff's all wet. Do you change? Do you use the same stuff? Or your stuff's all wet. You go back outside. It's a shame. It's that goes to, I think, what team's mental toughness is.
Yeah.
Like that goes
Yeah.
for both teams, and it's like all things being equal, who's going to be a little bit mentally tougher through those tough. And if they, it sounds like Hopkins hung on. They made the plays when they had to make them late in the game to take that one. Georgetown and Penn State, another game where Penn State, Big Ten team, coming off, at least one win, beating Maryland pretty badly. They get a lead, but Georgetown, tough. Seems like they're very comfortable in low scoring, close games.
Tash, do you think that having some of these grad guys, these portal guys who are playing 50 years and whatever, that are on some of these teams, they have a big effect in those kind of situations where they, get the younger guys, keep them on track?
Listen, that extra year, maturity and lacrosse wise, helps some of the younger guys, no doubt about that. Imagine if we had a fifth year, forget it. I think I still have a fifth year.
I think we both have a year of eligibility left.
The only problem is I'm 80 pounds heavier, so I don't think I can run. I don't think I can. You've seen me in action in Lake Placid, so
You made your
that
return.
4 yard sprint took me a long time. That was
Well, you were back. You were back. It was,
uh,
it's like the mind was willing, but the
uh,
body wasn't able.
yeah. The arm fakes were great, but the legs, no good. No more. That's it. Done. Officially, officially retired. I'm glad I did it, but I'm lucky I'm still alive. Imagine if everything I
All I
did
can
in
tell
my
you is there were a lot of people. There were a lot of people betting there were a lot of people betting on you not being able to score.
He's got to work out that sound. So one of the other games was, this is the game that probably did you in. We're in the battle for the season title. You closed the gap to 2 games. There were some chances there. You had Notre Dame. I had Albany plus the 9.5 goals, and Albany hangs around. They put a spirited effort against Notre Dame out there. They actually led at halftime. Is that do you sense that Notre Dame has to be fearful of that they came out a little flat, or is it just the aspect of first round and maybe an opponent that comes out, that they underestimate the opponent a little bit? What do you think?
I don't know if they underestimated them. They had some momentum, and then they got a 3-minute non-releasable penalty that kind of cut into their momentum offensively. They started to pull away in the second half. But, take nothing away from Albany. They were playing their butts off. They really played hard. Obviously, they had some really skilled players. I mean, they had slick sticks. They shoot the ball well, I'll tell you that. I didn't look over Albany's whole schedule, but when you see how they played against Notre Dame, I know the conference they're in and all is not like playing in an ACC. So I'm actually surprised they lost, as many games as they lost during the season, because, they really maybe just were really, really up for this one because they saw they had their shot. But you got to commend Scotty Moore. You had a good game plan. The face-offs, Notre Dame was able to start to control the game through the face-offs. You always have Entham in there, that he's a great stopper. I don't know that he played his best game. I think he probably agreed to that, but because they had real shooters. I mean, they were putting in shots. Credit to Albany. Maybe a wake-up call for Notre Dame, but I don't think they need it. Maybe they were looking past Albany a little bit, getting into the meat of this thing. But they're going to have a real strong effort. Georgetown this week, that's going to be a battle. I mean, Georgetown is the only team that beat them in a 1-goal game, right?
Yeah.
So they may, who knows? Oh, look what's popping up here. Oh, wow. Let's see who's coming here.
That's small.
This is going to be a grand entrance.
What's he wearing today? Let's see. He had the cowboy hat.
I say he's decked out in Cuse. If I'm going to say he's going to be decked out in Cuse.
No, he might listen. He probably wearing layers because he takes every team, so he figures he can win.
What about Maryland? He's going to wear red Maryland today.
Yeah, no, that's his guy. Tillman's his man. Smalley, where are you? Why are you hiding?
Come out from behind the curtain.
He's a coming.
Boy.
He's going to make an entrance. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
He really is a diva.
He's got his robe on.
This is Tash's guy. Smalley is Tash's guy.
I love him. The only guy besides me that screws up the English vocabulary more than anybody is Small.
This is probably the quietest anybody's ever thought Frank could be.
Yeah, no, he's got to challenge the speaker there, something, I mean, there we go.
Is he on? Is Tashman on?
He's on. What do you got?
Who's like Wonder Bread?
Steven, Carolina?
He's got the Duke and he's got the Shaman on.
I had to go generic. I got a lot of people coming to this fucking box. I had to throw out half the people. I got Big Head Murray that wanted to come on. No F words, they say. All right, no F words. Scratch that F word. Frankie Tash, what's going on with little Ange? Tell me about the little kid, the little moldy kid.
Ange is good. He got his first Adidas sweatsuit. Right then you saw the picture. He looks great. I got the matching sweatsuit. I got to go to the garage in Bensonhurst and get a fresh one.
Yeah, you're gonna get him the Tacchini suit.
I might go.
Remember that, the Sergio Tacchini, yeah.
Vinny, I might go get a nice velour one for Saturday. Bust out the new Puma. Thinking about it, if I could get Jamie Allen to take the ride with me, Jamie's dying to go. That'd be great.
Well,
hey Frankie, unfortunately, I love my two good friends, but they wanted to scratch you for a fucking Settini.
Okay.
I had to push Settini back on Thursday.
Again, first of all, his wife just had to warn him once, and number two, he was the guy trying to scratch you. So Just know
Oh,
this.
now, no, so now Vinny's giving him up. Mr. Shaman, praise, Vinny,
Listen,
praise.
I don't have to explain anything to Tash. He knows everything you say is an admission
He,
or a projection.
get his voice louder, Stephen. His voice has got to be louder. Tash's.
We're trying. His thing is technically challenged.
No, but just the button on the side will make him louder.
Seth, ranks a lot higher right now. He's the world team coach. It's a big honor, well deserved. So, I mean, it was nice that he let me on today.
So Smalls, you've missed out on. We went over some of the games, but you will bring in on this game because I know it was the most important game to you that you had your eye on was Syracuse Towson. So Towson comes out with a very spirited effort. Right in the game, battling Syracuse toe to toe. I think Syracuse was getting even a little concerned there for a while, but comes out at halftime a totally different team and basically runs over Towson in the second half.
Let me tell you the adjustments they made. They took Fish, a.k.a. Fish, we call him Fish. Mike Leo, they took him and they put him on attack. Wasn't that the big move?
Oh, that was definitely an adjustment. Yes, it changed. It changed the dynamic.
I mean, that's incredible what they did, man. I mean, think about it.
Well, they did it in earlier games too. They've done it a couple of times this year, but I think they know Christian Muley is just without the ball more than he is with the ball. And you could force feed him. He's got great hands. He's a great finisher. He's a good passer.
Great player. You're right.
But I don't think they don't. They were playing him with a short stick. So to change that dynamic, I think they put Leo down on attack because they feel like maybe the other team would cover him with a pole. He's more of a threat as a dodger. And maybe that's what opened it up. Clearly they scored a lot more goals in the second. They went on, I think, a 9-0 run. So,
how many points does Polina have? 10?
I don't know. I think 8, 4, and 4 or something like that.
You don't go to bed until you find out how many he has. What are you Who you fooling? You know how many he had.
What's he saying, Vincenzo? We can't barely hear.
Yeah, it's hard to hear.
He got his new rack. I thought I'd see his new rack. I got to get a rack.
Yeah, look at them choppers.
I'll be eating corn on the cob.
Oh, my God. He looks great.
I'll be eating corn on the cob and apples soon. Smalls has 2 championships. Vinny, Smalls has 2
Yeah, no, listen. You have very similar career paths in lacrosse. He's a champ like you. Nassau championship, Long Island champion, but you have a Saints champ. You have more. You got a few more. You got a few more accolades under your belt, lacrosse-wise.
Nassau,
I think you scored a few more goals than him.
Yeah, just a couple. Not many. Not many.
Steven, why are you frozen? I hear you now. Yeah, you're moving a little now. Yeah. Yep.
It's going to be great. First of all, I'm going to be on the record for saying fucking prepare for everything. All 14 prepare. It's going to be a fucking monsoon.
Well, you can't stop cursing. What's the matter with you?
One curse word. I'm allowed one. It's going to be a monsoon.
You're up to 4.
It's going to be a monsoon there. You better prepare for wet weather. It's going to be raining morning till night, all the way through.
It's going to be a nice day. It's going to be sunny and warm Saturday.
Sunny and warm. Cheryl, what's it going to be? She said 50% rain, 60% up to now. Anyway, this is what I got. I feel I'll know in the first half if Duke doesn't make any adjustments in the second half. I say Maryland pulls it out by 2. Maryland by 2. Here's my prediction. I'm gonna say 13-11 Maryland. Now I got Terrence Murray. Terrence Murray wants to come.
All right, so give him a ticket.
Well, a couple years ago at the Final Four, I remember him sitting outside in the monsoon, Terrence. Remember?
You guys left him out in the rain. Can you believe this? I said, where is he? Levittown kid, get him in here. Oh, he likes the rain. What do you mean he likes the rain? He's with his wife. Get him in the box. I want to try to get him in. Get him in, definitely.
You got Kittle coming. Where's Willett? Willett's coming.
Well, second game, I got, let's see, Georgetown. Goldberg called. He can't make it. He can't make the game. His son's going to be in the He thinks he's going to get back. It's hard to get back even to the quarters. You're not guaranteed to get to the quarters or the Final Four. Very hard. Very, very hard.
Yeah.
I love my dear friend Vinny, and I also gotta pick on them a little bit. My friend Tashman, they actually believe they can be great coaches. Now I don't say they can't, but they have never coached. Or did you, Vin? Did you coach in the NFL in the major?
Yes, I coached in the NFL. I coached defensive backs in the NFL.
And the CFL, Vinny, didn't you go to Canada?
I coached Deion Sanders at cornerback when he was with
Steven,
the Falcons.
I love these guys because they got knowledge. They got a lot of time in the game. Two clowns.
Here we go.
Two clowns in the game.
Here we go. Steven, cut him off. Shut his mic off. He's rambling.
All right, excuse me. You can cut it out. You can cut that part out.
Hey, Taj showed up, and you're totally off your game. He intimidated you. Look at what you're doing.
What makes you think these guys can coach, Steven?
He already coached. He coached a team with a national championship.
That's not Division One. Division One, he didn't coach.
He didn't coach Division One. You can only coach who you coach.
Jobs are hard to come by. You coach what you can get.
Well, they want to coach together, Steven. Father and son. How would they do?
Are you kidding me? If me and Vinny had a team,
Yeah. I think they got too much to do because half of them don't make good decisions during games. I could tell you that much. And I know between Frank and I, if we're on the sideline, we'd be pretty good at putting the right guys in the right positions to win games. And that's what we're talking about. Not so much, the other stuff.
That's half the battle is the adjustments and who to put on the right spot.
Did you hear about the Kavanaughs? I gotta throw something out there, Steven. They were on the McAtee show yesterday, the McAfee. Kavanaughs were on the show. Somebody told me they were on the show. Fact check that. I'm not kidding you.
What was it on the Pat McAfee show?
I don't know. Someone said they were on the
Kavanaughs
for going for the second title.
This guy's getting. This might have blown up this whole episode.
Yeah. We got to vote him off the island. We're going to vote him off the island soon.
Keep it moving, guys. Keep it moving.
He can't move it. I don't even know what we have.
20 minutes late.
I had to refresh the browser. I don't know if we have anything right now.
What are your predictions, man? Come on, let me hear it.
We're not up to predictions.
All right.
I don't know what we're at. This might be unsalvageable, to be honest.
Yeah. This has got to between Tash's volume challenge.
No, because I don't even know. I'm at 1 minute. I don't even know what happened to anything beforehand.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. And we need a studio. We got to set up a studio somewhere. I got to go to. Well, maybe we'll get a sponsor. Actashaw, Whitmore Group, James Metzger. We could go. Maybe he's got a little room there. We got to have we got to be where we're in a room. I think it goes much better like that.
Yeah, really, you're right.
Get it together. He come drive. Smalley's on the road. He's all over the place.
Yeah, it's difficult. He's a prima donna.
Do you hear me now?
A little better.
He's also. I had to refresh because all of a sudden it was knocking me off, and I had to refresh. Let me just see something. I'm going to go out and be right back in a second to see what happens here.
I wish we got a day like today for the game. Beautiful day.
You'll end up being okay about you. Smalls, did you make your master list yet?
Yeah, I'm working on it.
I'm going to, hopefully we can piece this together. I don't know what I have and don't have. That's the thing. Because I've had to go out and in. I don't know how that works. What else do I have? We went over the picks, at least the games, the preview, the pops.
Hey, Vince, the guy called this morning, the guy from Army. The guy...
the Sean Drake from...
Sean Drake, his
Duke.
son, Connor Drake, 27 on Duke. He called. He wanted to set something up for Friday. I said, it's wild on Friday. But I'll try, whatever. He said, don't worry about it. No guarantees.
Mm-hmm.
But he's going to be in town. He wanted to,
All right.
Let's talk about...
I think it was a free lunch, Vinny.
Let's talk about the All-Americans. I don't want to confuse the All-Americans with the Smallies because the Smalley Awards, when are you announcing that? I guess we can announce that at the quarterfinals. Maybe we'll make a video. So don't give your picks, Smalley, of your Smalley Awards. We're going to do that at the quarterfinals, but they did come out with the All-American picks. Any surprises there, Vin?
Well, there's two lists. There was a USILA list, which I think is really the official one, and then the other day during the game, they announced some kind of media list. They called it
Right.
the
That's the
surprise to.
inside lacrosse list.
Yeah, yeah. Listen, it is what it is. It's a matter of what you think. But to me, to have Pat Cavanaugh, that second list had Pat Cavanaugh as a second team All American. I don't know what more you'd have to do to be a first team All American.
Who was first team, Vinny?
I think with the first team they had Brandow, Kirst.
Guys from
Schellenberg.
Virginia.
Was it Schellenberger?
Yes. But that was the inside lacrosse list.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
The original list,
The original list I thought was closer to what I would be picking. Plus they picked 4 attackmen, not 3. I think in the USILA.
like they didn't though.
was the
That was the
fourth
thing.
guy?
I think that was the part that I think was a little screwed up, right? The fact that O'Neill made second team. Why didn't they put 4 guys on the first team?
Well, they only had 3 on that list. Also, I'm not
They
remembering.
had Kavanaugh, they
Yeah.
had Brandow, they had Kirst.
Yeah,
Who made
Yeah.
second team, Steven?
I think the kid from Harvard
yeah.
team, O'Neill.
I think maybe the Penn State guy.
Yeah.
And who
He
made
was
Now,
all-
listen, all that stuff. I don't know when they pick it, how they pick it. That's always been. Look, you go back with these All American lists. They're always controversial.
Well, they left Smalls off. That should tell you right off the bat. Who made
Yeah.
third team?
Yeah.
Who made third team, guys?
I don't know. I think Spallina was third team. These are guys we know. Leo, he made honorable mention.
He deserved it. He deserved it.
I thought that. Listen, Enterman was first team. He was the goalie. But the interesting thing is, guys got bounced around. It's not like if you make something one year, you slot it in automatically the next anymore. There's a lot of good guys playing.
Hey guys,
So-
I'm sorry, Vinny. Let me give you the third team. I have it right here.
The
Yeah,
third,
the guy from Johns Hopkins,
Degnon.
Dejnon.
Yeah.
I should let you do the names.
Louis Perfetto from Boston University, Joey Spallina. And they added a fourth, Justin Tiernan from Michigan. I can't see that good, so I get to
Yeah.
pronounce it.
That was-
Do you have the first team there, Smalls?
Yeah, I do. I have it right in front of me, guys.
And there's only 3 attackmen, correct?
Now it's four. Matt Brandow, Pat Cavanaugh, C.J. Kirst, and Connor Schellenberger. It's 4. That goes to tell you how crazy it is. You don't put my guy on there from Duke? You're nuts.
Hey, Benny, do you hear me?
yeah,
He's
barely.
under a pillow.
Yeah,
He's
I
under a
gotta
pillow.
jump off. I gotta jump off, guys. Listen, thank you for having me.
All right, Tash. We'll have you again when we got better sound.
Yeah, but
'Cause
we have.
we need sound with you.
When you have a studio, I'll come in with my new Puma velour suit.
There you go. That's what we need.
I'll call you later, guys. Thank you.
Take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
And there goes Tash.
Woo!
Like Steven said, that was the quietest he's ever been.
My God in heaven.
Meanwhile, move over a little bit and get on the camera. We always see half of you, Smalls.
Okay.
Can't you move, your seat? Why don't you move your seat? Yeah, there you go. A little better. Little more. Get in the center of it. Can't you move? There you go. Now we got him. There he is. Now we got him for sure.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me, man. I'm very blessed.
Man.
This has been our 10th episode.
Steven, all I can tell you is Martin Scorsese couldn't edit this thing.
No, this is above my pay grade for sure.
No, this guy comes in 20 minutes late. The other guy, you can't even hear him. He's muffled. Oh,
and it appears you've straightened out your internet system.
me, I'm fine. Listen, I'm getting
He's corrected it.
like in
With
everything. I
himself.
get better with time. I work things out. Look at this guy's back on the phone.
Oh, I got first team, second team, third. I'm ready for.
This is gonna be like Dunkachino. Burn this. It's gonna be Al Pacino in the movie. Burn this. I don't know what we could solve. Maybe this is just a preview for our next one.
He wants to. Well, listen. We gotta figure we gotta. For all future guests out there, you have to have internet. You have to be with the 20th century. You got to be able to work a phone, a
Wow.
computer. You know, this is we don't have executive assistants to run around the country to help you out.
We need a sponsor. We need a sponsor to give us the right equipment.
My Lord, we got equipment. You guys can't work a
Hey,
phone.
listen, that's a good idea, guys.
You're
Really got a
asking
good
the guy
idea.
to turn your volume up on your phone.
Yeah,
He doesn't know where the buttons are.
boy.
That's a
Can't
well,
And
have
you
flip
want to
phone.
be my latex salesman.
Right, and you want to be my latex salesman, exactly.
Uh,
Well, I got very nervous there for Syracuse when I saw they kept panning to the crowd, and in Dad Row they had your man Fish, they had Spallina, they had Muley, they had very concerned looks on their faces during portions of that game.
oh, first half they creeped into their head. They were going down. They were playing like shit.
Well, I tell you this, and I've said it before, and I think it's something you got to keep an eye on and watch. And I had this conversation with Black Jesus, a great friend of the program,
Brett
Brett
Brown.
Brown. We've had long conversations on this. Syracuse, he, to his credit, Bucks stepped up in the second half and really started to make some saves. But there were some shaky ones in the first half. And so he seems like he's a very hot and cold guy. He gets very hot. If he gets hot, he's very hot. And it goes well for them, Syracuse. When he starts getting cold, it gets a little scary. Obviously, in that one game in ACC tournament, they actually even took him out. I mean, you're at the end of the season now. You're riding with the guy. This is the guy you took to the prom. Is he going to be able to take him to the promised land? I definitely have a concern whether or not that holds up there for them. What do you think?
I think, look, he has been hot and cold all year. And usually when he's on and he's catching the ball, he throws good outlet passes. The bad offense of other teams or good saves create offense the other way, and they took advantage of that, Syracuse. The team took penalties, Towson, looked like some unnecessary penalties. But listen, they just were too talented for Towson in the long run. Frankly, I didn't like Towson's game plan defensively at all. I didn't like it. I didn't like that they were allowing Spallina to get his guy hung up, all the time. And then the way they played it once they were hung up, when they, putting the goalie on one side, the defender on the other, he attacked the goalie, knocked them off balance. They got a couple open net goals basically out of
They
that.
blew them out the second half.
I would no, but this was happening in the first half too. I'm just saying, if you're going to compete with a team like Syracuse that has a lot of offensive weapons, you really got to have a good defensive scheme against them. And obviously with the game being tight at half, Syracuse adjusted. Like we said, they threw Mikey Leo down on attack. I think it had an impact, even if it's just cyclically. The other team's coach says, "Wait a minute, they put this guy down there now. Let's change. They started playing. They were playing zone. I don't know what their defense was doing. All I could tell you is the defense was not good.
Let me give you a general question, because I know we've talked about this in the past, and I think it would be good for people out there to hear. The game, if you want to call it modern game for lack of a better term, you see a lot of, it's obviously a lot of picking action, more picking on the ball than it is to like where we would say, I like more picks away from the ball, but because I think it's easier to free yourself up. Certain teams do it. Maryland does it. I've seen Hopkins uses picks away from the ball to free guys up, but a lot of the picks are on the ball. That being said, defensively, I don't understand the strategies on how they guard these picks. I think they work because these guys really, I don't believe, play the two-man game very well in terms of offending it, especially when there's a short stick involved, and especially when it becomes behind the goal. Do you think that they should have evolved the defenses to play those picks a little bit better at this point?
What do you say, Smalls? You how to play picks. You're a basketball guy.
I think, first of all, it depends who you're playing. But in order, are you just talking about Syracuse, or you want me to talk
I'm
about?
talking about anybody.
general.
I'll
In
tell you.
general.
Let's bring the big things in here. If you're going to beat Notre Dame, and you think that you're not going to set picks on that guy like basketball, whatever, and come around and score, you're in for a long day. I mean, they didn't play. I don't think they played extremely great, but survive and advance. Last game against Albany, they advanced. They still played good enough. They can play better. To beat him, I still say you got to beat him. He's got 2 losses in 2 years. You got to screen that goalie. You don't screen that goalie, you ain't beating them.
Yeah, but you didn't answer the question. We're talking about these picks. We're talking about the scenarios. Okay, you want to use Notre Dame. Pat Kavanaugh's got the ball behind. The pole is on him. And here comes this big mini from Florida. And he's coming down and he's going to set the pick on Kavanaugh's man. How are you defending that pick? They don't seem to defend them very well. I don't think it's hard. We play basketball all the time, to be honest. I don't feel like it gets defended properly.
That's a good question. I don't even know how.
Well, I could tell you, I think you have to practice during the season. You have to have like preconditions what you're going to do. If you're talking about picks out top, right? If you're talking about picks out top, a lot of times you should be able to get through a pick out top. You just got to have some awareness. I watch guys coming out of the box, right, with a full head of steam. They do this a lot with McAdory. Duke does it. A lot of times when he was coming out of the box, he's the last guy out, right? And the first guy out goes all the way to the far wing. The next guy comes out. He stands almost in the middle of the field with his back to the goal. McAdory gets the ball, and now he's coming with a full head of steam, right? The guy who's covering the guy who's actually with his back to the goal and he's the guy who's going to set a pick. And all they're hoping for is an instant of confusion between those two guys, where if the guy who's covering the pick guy just stands there like a potted plant, McAdory 9 times out of 10 is with a head of steam coming from out of the box is going to run by the guy if the guy's playing him all the way out that far. So the question is, why do you even bother playing guys out so far? Why, if he's going to come out of the box, if you're standing inside the restraining line, he's got no head of steam. He's got to come to you at some point. Now you've condensed it. So these are all coaches' decisions. I watch these games, and over the years, and I've watched a lot of lacrosse, you know that, and styles change. And the skill level is at its peak. The skill level has never been better. Every kid can handle a stick. Every kid could shoot. So that makes it even harder to defend. But it's like whether it's using only offensive middies, defensive middies, they micromanage the game. Everybody's a specialist today, and I think that the way they play the game, I mean, I've seen when I played, in college, you're talking a lot of years ago, you wouldn't go, if a team was subbing, right? You never went out near the midfield line to cover a guy. That's how they play today. They're out there covering guys near the midfield line. If it were me coaching right now, if guys were pressing out that far, I'd set up an offense where I'd make the guy come out and play me, and I'd throw it inside to a guy, almost like a post play, turn and play 5-on-5, because the field's spread better. You actually could run really good plays if they're going to spread themselves like that. But to answer your question on the picks, for me, I like what the Canadians used to say when we played indoor: blitz the pick. Behind the goal, I like blitzing the pick. If any doubt, just double team the guy who's coming off the pick and get it out of his stick. Because most of the time, the guy they're picking for is their best player. So if you blitz them with a double, right, now you got it out of the stick of their best player. Let the next guy try to make a play. And meanwhile, behind that, if it's behind the goal, above goal line extended, you just play a 4-zone and you leave the farthest guy open. Let them try to make the skip pass over the top or through lanes, and we'll live with maybe a 12, 15-yard shot, as opposed to a short stick guy who's afraid to cover. He's like, God, I might end up on an attackman. So he stands there. He doesn't communicate with the defender, and the guy gets jammed up, and then the guy comes around alone, which I see so many times in games. And it's terrible. That's just terrible defense.
And in an age of specialization, I think you have to not be afraid to switch. I
Yeah,
think you have to be able to say, I'm a short stick defensive midfielder. If that's what my position is, I'm guarding any guy on the field. I don't care if
right,
it's their best guy on their other team or
right.
whoever I'm guarding. I'm not afraid to switch onto anybody like that they're going to take me somewhere. And I think that actually makes it easier because when you do switch, what are they going to do? If they feel they got a really strong dodger and you switch that short stick out on him, was he going to pull him away? Then it gives you time for the defense to settle in behind them and support against them.
Yeah,
So I agree with you. It's frustrating to see them lose points as we lose Smalley.
yeah.
Uh,
Here, I'll give you
Paying
one.
attention. He's learned something. He's learned something today, Vin.
I'll give you one from my recollection of the game. Okay, so they put Mikey Leo down on attack, right? He gets the ball on the wing. I think it was the first goal he scored. He sweeps left-handed. There was a pick, but it was like a
Yeah,
half-ass pick.
right.
And the guy's trailing him, and the other guy doesn't step up. He doesn't hedge it. You can always hedge it. Let's say you hedge out, and the guy who set the pick rolls to the basket. I'll say roll
Right,
to the basket. He
right.
goes to the cage. That's still a hard pass with a guy moving towards
Yes,
the cage with other defenders in the middle.
yes.
Who's going to Who's going to catch a pass in there? You get your head taken off.
Well, that's why I say, like, it only takes a little bit of confusion
That's it.
the guy to trail and be behind the guy, especially against a guy who can shoot. So I
Yeah,
would watch the. I go. I don't know who teaches this. I mean, if this is the proper way to do it, I don't think I would teach it this way. Where the short stick D guy who's guarding his guy who's setting the pick, and he just whaps him as he goes by.
yeah. No, you got to
The
have
guy catches up. I'd
no.
rather my guy go out and hedge, like you said, hedge and get ahead and switch if you have to, rather than do that. I don't think
You
that's slap on
No,
the
you
guy.
got to have hard, fast rules. That you set hard, fast rules depending on where the picks are being set on the field, and you live up to them, and you practice them all season, and that's how you do it. It's not hard. It's not. I see guys out beyond the restraining line, right? And they're covering a guy, right? The guy starts to run. I'm not even talking about a head of steam. You don't have a head of steam. You're actually on him, right? And they're running with the guy, and they somehow run into a pick. How are you not aware that a guy in that whole open field is not coming to pick you, or the guy who's covering the guy coming to set it is not saying, pick is coming on your back, pick's coming to your left, pick coming to your left, get through, get through, get through. Just basic communications. But that's what's winning and losing these games. You see it all game long with these teams, and that's why I say it's not great defense. Again, you have less margin for error defensively because these guys are sharpshooters. And they're highly skilled at shooting the ball, but they're also highly skilled at feeding
Skill,
out.
but they don't know where to. If you talk about defense, they don't know where to be on the field. A lot of them, if they're playing way out front.
Well,
You're
listen,
right, it is stupid.
I was always coached. The worst thing you could do is to be caught in no man's land. You either go when you double a guy or you don't go. Because if you get caught in no man's land, you didn't help the guy on a double. He still
Right.
got the shot off, and if you got halfway there, you left your guy open. So you got to be aggressive, and that's all. Like I said, that takes practice over the year, and you got to get guys used to doing it, and knowing that if you know this guy's going to go, you turn to your right. If you're the guy who may be the go guy, you should be turning to your next guy and saying, I'm going. So he knows he's got a half slide to your guy in case the next pass is to him. That's good defense. That's communicating. It's like I said, it's no different. Basketball is different because no matter what, you could still go over the top. You know what I'm saying? You could shoot a ball over because you're shooting up at a basket 10 feet high. In lacrosse, everything is at the same level. You're not going to throw something over the top. You're at the same level. So it should almost be easier to cover those kinds of things.
And the other difference is there's a physicality level in
Oh,
the
no, and you could, right, and there's that
where you
too.
can use your body and stop a guy and hit
Listen,
him.
a guy is going to set a pick. If you're just going to jog next to him and let him go set it where he wants, that's the first mistake. You should be pushing that guy even in the back a little bit. You move him away from where he wants to set the pick, and you talk to your guy. You have to have calls. If you're going to hug your guy tight so the guy can get through and go, you have a call that you're yelling so that guy knows who's covering
That's
the ball.
another thing, Vinny, you brought up. I don't like the communication. The talking's got to be much better. Communicate with these kids. They're like mums. It's almost like they're looking at their cell phones and they don't have one. They need to communicate much better I want to see this weekend how many people call the switches and communicate. You know?
Yeah, well, look, it all starts when we're talking from defensive standpoint. It all starts with a goalie. He's the traffic
He
cop.
usually talks more, yeah.
The goalie should be instructing and knowing slow to go, this and that. He knows the scouting report, who you really want to go to, and he's calling it out. There should be a lot of chatter. I'm not down at these field levels where I could hear how well these teams are communicating. I don't really know because I haven't been down low, but
Not great. I can tell you,
clearly,
not great.
clearly, and talking things through gives you a big edge. I played with some goalies. One of the first great goalies I played with, Billy Barossa, you could hear him in the top row. Billy was calling after the game. He had no voice, but it helped the defense. It more than helped the defense. He coordinated the defense. So, I don't know how, these guys, I'm assuming that these goaltenders at this level are calling out stuff to guys and all. But when I see how some of these goals get scored, I sit there and I say, man, if I was coaching, this would drive me crazy that we gave up a goal like this.
Hey, I was somebody just texted me. I'm going a little off script here, but I'm not going to tell you who it is. A big time guy in the sport. He thinks Jordan is going to take him down. That might be a classic. Can you imagine Georgetown beats Notre Dame? That'd be the second time this year. 2 losses. They knock him out.
Before you came on, we talked about matchups. We talked about the game. It's about matchups. Maybe the reason they beat them the first time is they match up well with them.
Or it could be even from I don't know the statistics of that first game, but maybe the Georgetown faceoff guy can do very well against the Notre Dame guy, and maybe.
But mentally, they already beat him. They can beat him again. They can beat him again.
What's funny is the both faceoff guys are Chaminade guys. Yeah,
and we got Chaminade people in the box.
The only thing is, I did see, hopefully he'll be, can compete 100%. But I saw that the kid Ball, the Georgetown faceoff guy, he did tweak his ankle late in that game the other day. He limped off. They actually stopped it to make him limp off. So hopefully he'll be, okay. But that will be a battle at the X. And the funny thing is, I think somebody had told me that Lynch, who's done really well, both of them have had really good seasons, I think. But Lynch didn't face off in high school. He really didn't. Very few face-offs, somebody told. Because I think Ball was on the same team maybe, or, they had a couple other guys.
It's going to be exciting, man, guys. These two games.
That's, you got all these interesting little matchups in these games too, Maryland with Duke, right?
I'm looking for that matchup, Zapata.
Yeah, Smalls is touting his man, Zappatella.
I love that kid. That's my new guy.
Coming on, I guess, does he cover Brendan O'Neill? Did they put
Yes, right away, Vinny. Yeah, right on, Rich. Try to shut him down. Right away, first half. I would take him right out of the game if I can. You got to hope to do it. Very hard to do that with him. But if he does that, Maryland wins the game. 13-11. That's my prediction for that game.
Now, Dyson Williams, right? If you're playing Duke, let's do a little scouting report. So, Maryland, you're saying you put Zappatella on O'Neill to shut him down. That's you're going to attempt to. Doesn't mean he's going to. He's going to attempt.
I didn't say that. I mean, he's the best in the game.
I'm not saying you said it.
Right.
I'm just saying you feel that's best. Put your best on best.
Have to.
Now you got Dyson Williams, right? He was more known as an off-ball player a lot of his career. Scores a lot of goals. Crafty Canuck, that scores goals. Who do you put on him? Do you try covering him with a short? Do you cover Dyson Williams with a short and say just
I would
stay
put a short stick on him.
You would?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take your chances.
But listen, he played in the World Games.
Take your chances with a slide.
In World Games last summer, when he was playing for Team Canada, he became more of a ball carrier. I don't know how much of a ball carrier he was when he played the USA team, but he might have been, because they were making a big thing out of that, saying, he's more of a ball carrier this past summer. Yeah, he was a ball carrier against those teams that really don't have many good defensive guys. So maybe that's why he carried it a little more. Who knows what the dynamic of their team was, because they had a lot of good guys with the ball. But if do you shut him off completely? He's a guy, you don't want to really slide from.
Well, what about doing that? What about doing that potentially like on an O'Neal?
Yeah,
What
I
about
mean, look,
putting a short stick and shutting him off? Don't let him get the ball. When he gets the ball, support the guy who's guarding him. Go
yeah.
to early.
I,
I mean, you can do all of those things or creative
You can
ways
do
to.
that too. You can do that, Steven.
if you're asking, look, if it were me and I'm coaching these teams, if I was coaching and I was a defensive coach, I always believe in taking a team out of their comfort zone, seeing what they think they do best, what they always try to do, and taking that part away from them and let some other guys try to beat you. That's how
Well,
I
if you remember, they've been touting the Notre Dame extra man. And I know they're a high percentage. They're like, oh, they're the highest in the history of the game.
yeah.
And I don't know which game it was, but they had one of the games. I forget who they were playing, but they were shutting off Pat Kavanaugh on the extra man. They would just put the short stick guy on him,
Yeah.
completely shut him off. Notre Dame moved them around. They were trying to figure out where to put him. They put him into the middle,
Right.
but it definitely screwed them up
Throws
of
you off.
what they wanted to
Yep,
actually
yep.
do.
Throws
So
you off.
those little adjustments sometimes, even though they seem a little quirky, they make the other side have to think, even if it's not
That's a
perfect,
good point.
they make them have to think
That's a
about.
good point. That's why I say put Z-Man right on Brennan. You can switch. I want him right on Brennan in the opening of the game to make it mix up so he don't get off right away. That's my theory.
Okay,
He
all
gets
right.
off, it's over.
So let me play the other side of that, right? Zappatella's very good one-on-one defender, good feet, strong, very good. Now, if you're Duke and you anticipate that they're going to put him on Brennan and he's going to play him hard, you set a pick down for him with a midi and
Yeah.
get a switch. You get a switch, so you get the guy off him.
Correct.
And you got to be effective in doing it. You got to set the pick correctly so the guy just can't get through. There's all that's coaching. And look, you could coach it all week, but you got to have the kind of players. That's why we talk about lacrosse IQ. You could have the greatest skill level in the world, but if you don't know what the hell you're doing out there,
If
you're
that
not gonna be
happens,
successful.
if he gets shut down, I go right to the switch. I take him, I run him out of the box. I don't wait to the third or fourth quarter. Listen, he's a great coach and everything. What are we? We're just second quarterback in here. But the thing is, I gotta switch him around. He's gotta have the ball in the stick. I'm gonna count it. In fact, I'm gonna do a little research and tell you how many minutes he has to have the ball in order for Duke to win the game, to be effective. And if he's under those minutes, it's like LeBron James. I don't care if he fails. I want the ball in his hand. You remember the games on Cleveland? Who else do
No,
you want to have the ball?
he's going to draw a lot of attention. He definitely opens it up for a lot of guys. I think, but most importantly for Brennan, because of the way he could shoot, you need to, if you can generate, your offense can help him generate 10 to 12 shots, but from good spots. I'm not talking about no angle bullshit shots that you shoot over the goal and you really got no, you're trying to hit 6 inch by 6 inch. I'm talking about if he could get to the middle of the cage.
Oh,
I mean, he can put him in with tight angle too. But if he can get in close, or when he gets underneath and how he finishes, you have to find a way to get that kid 10 to 12 good shots. If he's getting 10 to 12 good shots,
great call.
he's supposed to score 4 or 5 goals,
Great call.
with his ability. So if you're going to let him disappear for long parts of the game where he's not even getting a shot, you can't score without shooting.
Well, let's pick these. Let's pick the 3 games anyway, because while we're here, we can pick the 3 games. We don't have the official, because of DraftKings and the Syracuse line.
We can
but
figure it out, though.
We'll get that. But the 3 games,
That's a
and
2-goal
we can
game.
talk about them. So I can go first. I think I should go first, considering Vinny's got to try to catch me. I got a 3-game lead on him, and Smalley, Vinny's got a 5-game lead on you. Even though you had the 7-1 week last
7
week.
and
Won the
1
week.
week.
You made a big comeback.
Yeah.
It was a
You
bloodbath, baby.
So if you keep it going, the Maryland game has Duke favored by 3.5. This is a really tough pick for me. It's Maryland looks strong. I'm going to still pick Duke. I am fearful of the 3.5, though. I do think they're going to win the game, but The 3.5 scares me, but I'm gonna pick Duke minus the 3.5.
You want me to go second, Vince?
Go ahead.
I think he's completely nuts. The way they're playing now, I believe this guy has a game plan. I'm going all in. All in. I wanted Duke. I picked him here, but I don't think so with the 3.5. I just don't see it. It's going to be the tightest game ever.
Okay, so that's
Yeah.
you're picking Maryland.
Yeah.
But you also have belief that they could actually win the game outright.
They can win, but I said to you, if Brendan has, he's got to score at least 4 for them to win. I'm going on that limb. If Brendan don't score 4, they're not winning.
All right, Ben.
Wow, that's a bold prediction. It's hard to go against a Tillman coach team when they get 3.5. It's hard to go against them. But I have a feeling.
Stinking. Look at him. Hey, Vinny, hold on. You're going to burn a fuse up there. Take it easy. I'll use your phrase against you. Vinny, take it easy.
I'm going to go.
Look, you got the Charmin head or the Duke head, Vinny. Where you going, Vinny? Get it together. You almost burnt the fuse, Steven. You see his brain? Go ahead, Ben.
I'm calculating in my head.
Jesus, don't do that.
I think I'm going to go with Duke in this one.
Oh, that's full maneuver.
All right.
Oh, get out of here.
I think I'm go with Duke.
Okay.
It's a close game. It's maybe a 1-2 goal game late, and then they got to chase, and then Duke gets a few more to put them away.
So basically, you're saying they're going to win by 4. If it's 3.5, Vinny's saying 4.
Yeah. Yes, that's what he's saying.
So in other words, you contradicted yourself. Elman's a great coach. He's a great game planner. And now you can switch it over to the other side.
I didn't switch it over. Those things are not mutually exclusive. It doesn't mean because he's a great coach you can't lose by 4.
You're the GOAT, so I got to give it to you. I got
to play on the field. He could do all the coaching in the world, but they got to make the plays. The bottom line is I just think that Duke may wear them down. If that face-off kid, Weirman, he's very good. Usually I'm an underdog better, but I think that the extra incentive for the Long Island kids, all the Long Island kids from Duke that are playing here, you got O'Neal coming home, you got Balsamo coming home, you got McAdory, you got Brower, you got all these Long Island kids, Denenza. They're going to want to play hard. Not that Maryland won't, but I think that they're going to wear them down ultimately.
I think you put extra pressure on them by coming home.
Right,
they got to perform in front of a big crowd. Some teams are better off playing away. So I disagree with that theory, man. I think it's going to be so much pressure on these kids, and they're great. Don't get me wrong. Those kids are the Duke kids. All these kids there that I got to give a shout out to both teams.
So
go ahead.
You want to switch to the other game?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So the other game at Hofstra, you have Notre Dame 4.5. 4.5.
These bookmakers, they know what they're doing. They really get.
So, wow, this is really a tough one too. I don't know. I mean, this is going to be tough.
You go first on this one.
Yeah, I'll go first. No, I'll go first. Again, I'll give you guys a chance. I got to give you a chance. I'm up 3 games.
Honestly,
whatever you guys pick, and you never can catch me.
Look, I don't bet opposite what you do just because I'm trying to catch you. I'm gonna bet. You heard what I said. I said I don't.
Whoa. Let me say something to that effect that you just said that. Well, that means you're not going for the win. You don't like to win. You're playing Potsy here. 1 meatball for you, 1 meatball for me. Come on, Vincent.
I just said I just said the opposite of what you just said. You interpreted.
I love giving you the biz, Vinny. I love you, man.
I said if he's going first, I could just.
No, I know. I'm just kidding. I like to give you the little meatball.
I'm saying is, I'm going to stay with what I would have, regardless of what Steven says. So you said what?
I'm going to say man, this is tough. I'm going to take the 4.5 goals with Georgetown. I am.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a B. I should have went first. I think you would have picked the other team. That's who I'm going with. Now, you go last, Vinny. I'm going with Georgetown with the 4.5. But now, you know what? I'm going to play a little thing. I'm going to change my pick now. I'm going to have to go. Can I do that?
Yeah, of course.
Do whatever you want.
No, but I want to. He tipped me off. So in other words, you give me a little bonus. I'm all in. I got to go for. Notre Dame then.
Okay.
That is a lot of points, though. That's a lot. That's a lot of points.
It
It'd
sounds
go
like
fast, though. It sounds like a lot until it becomes a blowout. And then,
yeah,
and the next thing you know, it's 8
yeah.
goals. So
Come on, meatball. Come
No.
on, Vincenzo. Catch him, man. Don't play politics here. God damn it.
All year I've been on Notre Dame. I got to stay on Notre Dame.
Nice. All right.
Oh, he's the best.
The last game, and you go. This is going to Sunday. We'll pick the Syracuse game after, but the Virginia and Hopkins. Virginia's -2 against Hopkins.
I'll go first.
You want to go first?
One,
I
yeah.
know who I'm picking, so
I'm taking Virginia.
yeah, me too. Why are you taking them?
I just think that I think they got a little healthier. I think they're now the money's on the line. They're going to up their game. They showed me a lot in that last game they played. They're getting it together. Hopkins is a tough defensive team, but I think they struggle to score sometimes, and I just think that at some point Virginia's going to wear them down and pull away.
If Hopkins could have put a different type of I know the weather and all of that against Lehigh, I might have thought differently, but I think it's playoff time. Virginia, even with those those games, losing them to those strong teams when they had to lose Notre Dame twice in a row, and that gets you battle tested. I don't care what you say. They go from playing Notre Dame, arguably the strongest team in the country, twice, battling, even though they got beat up. It makes you, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. You come out in the playoffs, how they, I think they'll have confidence, going through. So I think that makes Virginia a very dangerous team. So I go Virginia also. Smalls, what do you say?
No, both good points, but here's what I think. I think since they're both very good in the year, you both bring out good points. I think, though, in a game where I think the weather's going to play, you guys say it's going to be sunny. I say it's going to rain. Due to the rain, I think there in the morning and stuff like that and all that stuff, it's going to be very close. I think 2 is a lot. That means 3. When you say 2, it actually means you got to win by 3. Actually, you get 3. Follow me?
3 makes you win. 2 would be a push. You wouldn't tie.
So being that they played all year, I think they're going to readjust. They beat them during the year, didn't they? They beat them once during the year. Who won that matchup?
Hopkins won.
I'm going to stay with Hopkins. I believe the 2. I believe it's more like a 1-goal game, kind of like that. Either way, but I'm going to stay with Hopkins on that pick. Okay. I think all year round, and what were they rated number 2 in the country at one time? What were they rated?
Yeah, they were up to 2.
All right, so I'll stick with Hopkins there like that. I just think that's it. Yeah.
Well, all right. We're going to have to see. Now, I want you to be prepared for Saturday. You're going to have your Smalley Awards. This
what
is
about Syracuse? Did we pick that game?
We don't have the spread. We don't have
No, hold on. Listen, obviously, you guys are the smartest kids in the world. You went to Catholic school. I give you a lot of credit. I went to a little school in Levittown. I'm going to tell you the point spread now. You want me to tell you the point spread of the game?
Okay, go ahead.
You ready?
Yes.
The point spread will be 2 goals. By Syracuse favored by 2. So just let's go with that. That's about what it's going to be.
You're not an odds maker.
What are you talking about that? I can figure it out.
We're going to see what.
Steven, you think 4.5?
Pretty close. No, I think he might be pretty close.
It's not 4.5, Vinny. It's not going
to. I don't know what it is. Whatever it is, it is.
So let's just go with that. And I'll let you. It's going to be 2. Trust me for once. Give me a little Bazazzi. You know what I'm saying? Trust me.
Let's see.
It's not going to be much more. You want me to call Dennis now? See what it is?
You could call Dennis. You could call him, but I see it right here too. This is.
It shuts you off though.
He's pretty close. I would say he's probably pretty close.
They're all close like that.
I could go by the 2 number. Who would you pick, Smalls? You want to go first?
Go 2 go. That's a really tough game. 2. They're favored by 2. You know what? I'm going to say Mule is going to come out with a big goal in the end of the 4th quarter. I'm going to stick with Cuse, baby. Cuse. Vincenzo. And that'll take me over to Vincenzo. He'll lose all 4. Well, no, I can't. He picked 1 with me. Oh, that's going to be tough.
I'm going to go with I think that's going to be a 1-goal game. So I'm going. If you got to give in Denver 2, I'll take Denver. I see an overtime game developing.
I agree. And I could see Denver winning the game too. Believe it or not, like I said, I'll have my eye on Syracuse defense and goalie situation because they got some horses, Denver, and they all shoot well, and they play a stingy, slow down game. They'll take away that transition. 2 goals. I could see it being that 1-goal game. I'll take Denver as well.
All right, good. I want to give a special shout out to all the coaches. Got to give them credit. They got here. They got to the Big 8, the Elite 8, in the game.
Are you going to be ready to pick the Smalley Awards for those?
100%.
I'm just going to give you, what the qualifications are. There's 10 players that get the Smalley Awards. There's 3 attackmen. We don't do this. Oh, we want to be nice to the guys. So
No,
we
no, nice here. That's
There's
big
3
ball,
attackmen.
meatballs.
There's 3 defensemen, and even harder so, there's 3 midfielders, and they don't count whether it's a long pole, whether it's a face-off man, whether it's short stick midi.
LSS?
Just three. You could pick a long stick midi, but then you can't. It's not like there's 5 middies. There's 3 middies, and then you're gonna have your goalie, and then you're gonna have your coach, and those are the Smallies.
And then I'll pick my 2. I'll pick my MVP of the whole.
And then of those 10 guys that you pick, who your main guy is.
We'll call it the Tawatatan.
Tatatan.
Thanks, Benny. Still making fun of the kids that had problems at school. We'll get into that another time. Tawatatan.
The other thing is, again, 10th episode. What do we have on the horizon? Where are we going? We're getting more guests. You got to have an
I can get Seth Tierney. He committed. Okay. That's my boy Seth.
All right.
Hey guys, I want to give Seth a hand.
Yes.
He got the job. He got the big job over everybody, my man. Oh, the thing is, you think Seth will hire me as an assistant coach? Listen, let me ask you a question. Do you have to be an assistant coach of the World Games? What do you have to have? Do you have to be finish college? If that's the case, then
you have to finish college.
Then Vinny wouldn't be in there, would he?
No, I can't. I'm not looking to do it.
Vinny's looking for the assistant job.
I put that criteria because of you. Because you want to do it.
Could I be part of the fundraising? Could I fundraise for them?
That you could do. They'll take dollars. They'll take all dollars.
But Ben, I am a good guy. But I will tell you one nice thing before we go. I want to thank all you guys for the last 3 years, Stephen. You guys put your heart and soul, Vinny, for 40 years to put your heart and soul into the game. 3 years for Rob Smalley to wreck your reputation. So I do apologize to you guys. You guys are the best, bro. You really are. You guys are the best I ever saw. I love this. I don't know how much longer I could do this. I'll be honest with you, because I do have fun. If it wasn't for you 2 guys, I wouldn't be here. I would be car racing, with the NASCAR or something different, or more into basketball. But you guys have done a lot for the game, and I love you guys, man. You guys are the best to do it.
Listen, the car racing and all of that is fun, but this is a sport that you conquered in 3 years. You're the most famous guy in lacrosse right now. but there's plenty of games. If you
the GOAT is saying, what, Cheryl? Oh, 1 more minute. Give me 1 minute. I got 1 minute, guys. The GOAT. I call my wife the GOAT.
The boss is calling.
The boss. She's great. I love her. I want to give a shout out to all the Goldsteins. They put their heart and soul into it. All the kids.
That's your shout out. Who's your shout out for this week, Stephen?
Yeah.
You go first. I got to think about that. Who's my shout out?
I know what my shout out is.
Go ahead.
I love this new guy. And when I give the call, that's where I was saving tickets from. And he's a coach from North Carolina. It's not the head coach, although I love him. I invite him, but I know he can't come. But there's an assistant coach there. Benny, take a shot at who I love. I love them all.
He's talking Petro.
Petro, baby! I like him and the 2 kids. I love Petro, baby! I'll give his own seat. I'll give him a whole row. Benny, can I give the guy a whole row?
You could give him a row.
Oh, this guy's going to have fun.
It would be great to have him up. That would be great. We
got Timmy O'Connell in the suite. Great Timmy. And his son, Thomas O'Connell. who
That's
coaches
great.
Chaminade.
Oh, I love
Timmy,
it.
whose other son went to the Final Four in basketball. They're coming up.
So I know my shout out. He's been watching. He's been listening. Another defenseman, another great defenseman. My shout out's going to Beardsley, Rick Beardsley.
Beard! Oh my God! I got to get a big steak for the Beardsley.
Hopefully he can get. Yeah, hopefully he can get down here or get on. We can get him
I
on.
got a spot for the Beard. If the Beard comes, I got a spot in the suite with his name on it. With his name on the suite.
I love it.
The goat. Say hello, goat.
Man, who am I going to give a shout out to for this week? That's wow.
You can do Dito again.
Yeah, well, they're heading into their playoffs, but they're heading in. Southside's on a roll. That's a good one.
Somebody from York Melville.
I'll give a shout out to who Smalls dubbed Peter Corduroy, Peter Cordray. They just won the state championship down in Florida. First time ever for the Benjamin School.
Wow.
I'll give a shout out to Peter Cordray and the Benjamin School for their state championship. So that was a big step for them. They've been dying to get there, and they finally won it.
Fantastic. All right, so I guess Thursday we got Settini.
We can bring. We'll have episode for Thursday.
He's ready to go. He's fired up.
All
I'm
right.
gonna call him on Wednesday.
I love it.
I think we made history today. It's the quietest I ever saw Tash ever. Who knew all we had to do was push the button down?
If we had a volume button, exactly.
I don't know
what
what
you needed.
Tash has the Tash. I asked him what kind of phone he said. When he said Apple, I think he literally had an Apple, a real Apple.
I said Apple 4, Apple 4, or Apple 5.
He's got.
All right, guys.
He's pre-Tim Cook. He's before Tim Cook ever came on the scene. I can tell you that phone, unfortunately we couldn't hear him so good. You're going to have to do a lot of editing, Steven. I don't know if you'll be able to salvage this one. Smalls came a half hour late.
We'll manage something. We'll manage.
I came through. And the other thing I want to say, all you guys do, giving back to the game. We like to make it a better game. I want to reach out to all the parents and let them know to be more humble in the game when you got referees and things going on. Let's try to get back to the game while we're watching and be humble and really root for the kids. And I just think it's going to be a great weekend.
And the last thing, speaking on humble, nobody commented on my shirt.
I couldn't see it. What is it, Stevie?
Okay, this is my lead the way. I got my
Jimmy Regan.
Oh, yeah. Look at Jimmy Regan. Yeah.
So you talk about humble. You talk about humble. You talk about leadership. You're talking about Chaminade. You're talking about Duke. The guy checked every box, and
bring the shirt. I want to hold the shirt up when I open up the thing. I want to bring that shirt in your backpack.
Okay.
Yeah. Brittany, what do you think we need to do for the box? How can I upgrade the box? I got all the stars coming. How can I upgrade
I told you, hopefully it's not raining. I said what you should do is you should rope off in front of the box. Rope off about 5 rows. Put a caution tape so you'll have the box with the doors open with the 5 rows in front and put people right in the rows right in front of the box.
You're right.
That might be a way it extends the box.
Now, supposing they give me the presidential box. That's what they're giving me today. It's pretty nice in the U.S. I was a kid 5 years ago. I didn't even know what lacrosse was anymore. 3 years ago. Now I got the box in the suite.
You're Bobby Courtside.
Bobby Courtside. Thanks to Susan Moser.
You were sneaking into the game.
Right.
Man, I can't believe this.
All habits die hard.
I'm happy, man. I'm happy for everybody.
The other biggest surprise of this episode is Vinny's at 99%. I can't even understand it.
Wow.
Also, I want to give a shout out to all our friends. Charles Balsamo, the parents, his parents. Went to every game and never missed a game. Charles Balsamo. Yeah. I love Charles Sr., Charles Jr., the son, Johnny Boy, his wife, Jen. All went to every game with passion and love. The Fish kids, the Fish family, the sister, the mother, a.k.a. Leo. Unbelievable families and all the other families that never missed a game. Unbelievable, man. This is coming to an end soon. And I'm like, I don't know what to do.
You said before, you talked about other things, but this sport tends to bring people together. There's long-lasting friendships, there's teammates, there's families who became really good friends because they come watch their kids on the team and they're in the stands week after week for 3-4 years together. It's nice, and these could be lifelong friendships.
Hey, Vinny, do you have any influence? Who would be better to do this next job?
I got no influence anywhere.
I thought you the Pied Piper. I mean,
I'm
come
yet
on.
news.
But how can I get? Do you guys have any influence over Petro? I'm trying to get him here, but I don't. How would I get Petro's phone number? Maybe I have it. Let me see if I have Petro's number.
I have his number.
You have
want
it?
to invite him up? He could come visit his father.
No, I want his father.
Already.
I'll
I
invite
thought
his
you
father.
invited him already.
I didn't really. It's kind of shaky. I didn't really give a real invite. Like it was more like an Irish invite.
Okay.
But Vinny, do you think you could do me a large favor on behalf of Petro and myself? I mean, on behalf of Dito and myself, we would like to get Petro and his family there for one last hurrah. I got extra tickets I saved. I really didn't go crazy. There's about 7 tickets. I want to give out to somebody special, and I want to get Petro there.
We'll send him a message, see if he wants to come up. You don't know Petro? He's probably already on the recruiting trail.
You might be right, but wait.
With all the kids from Long Island that are on all of these teams, they might want to be on that trail up here because that's where it seems like every year when you start getting down to the quarters and the finals, a lot of Long Island kids are on the field. That's for sure.
They picked up some of the breaking news was they picked up the goalie from Princeton, Gianfrancaro, who's very good.
Who's going where?
He's going to
Carolina.
Wow.
So they're losing their goalie, right? He's a senior.
Yeah.
So that's a good pickup.
Played for 4 years for them.
How many years is this kid going to have to play? This kid?
One, I think.
So he's one and done.
One and done.
But he's a good, you're talking about an experienced guy, very good goalie coming right in.
So they're putting money up. How are they getting him?
I don't know any of those details. I just saw that he's going there. That's a good pickup.
Dude, you get
They're building something. I think they got some nice recruits. I think they had some nice young guys. Listen, that last game of the year made a little bit of a statement for Carolina beating Duke.
We're going to keep an eye on, that'll be in the future episodes of the Pro League. When we get into the Pro League and everything, we're going to keep an eye on the portal because the portal is a big part of this.
We'll keep running it.
Whether you like it, whether you don't like it, we can have episodes and talk about that. You can't fault a kid if, a guy wants to look for a different way. And at the same time, you'd like to see kids work it out at the place where they're at too. So you can argue every side of that.
No, but a lot of times, Stephen, they've graduated with.
Yeah, those are the ones that are in now. That's what I was going to say. The ones that are in now, you're seeing all of the Ivy Leagues where they have no choice but to go find other schools. So you saw that Jack Monfort, he's made his decision. He's going to be going from, he's finished with Yale and he's heading to Johns Hopkins. That's a great pickup for them. Jack's a great kid, a great player, did a nice job at Yale, and that'll strengthen Hopkins up pretty well.
Yeah, I think you're going to see. Look, if you're an Ivy League kid and you went to the Ivies and you didn't really play as a freshman, and you're going to graduate in 4 years, you could go do an extra year somewhere and get a master's. Who knows what kind of play you develop into? A lot of times these guys,
Duke picked up two brothers that went to different Ivy League school. They must be twins. Do you know who they are? Blakes or something?
Who did pick them up?
Duke.
John.
Up, one that was at Harvard, one that was at Cornell.
Wow. Aiden Blake is going.
Aiden Blake.
Wow.
One of them's going. Yeah, they're going to Duke. Yeah, and his brother. And one is at Harvard.
Well, Duke got to reload. They lose a ton of seniors from this. A ton of people. They lose, I think, as many as 19 or 20 players, something like that. So they reload. Those teams don't have problem getting recruits. They reload pretty good. But listen, that's for tomorrow. We got these games for this week, and we'll see what happens. I know I picked a couple favorites there, but I do like seeing close games. So I hope they're close, and I hope there's some drama and overtime, and those are the best moments.
What time are you getting there, Vinny? What time you guys? Don't be late, Stephen.
First game
early.
At noon. We're gonna be there 9:40.
We got a tailgate.
9:45. Vinny, 9:45. Vinny, not late. Come on, kid. 9:45.
9:45.
We also have to judge that tailgate. I mean, we're gonna see. We're gonna see who.
I think I'm gonna have. I got 4 parking passes, so
I can tell you one thing: Notre Dame, if they come anywhere even close to what they did at Post, Hofstra better be prepared and cordon off an area because they come big when they come.
Timmy Goldstein's a big shot. He's got a few tickets. He's a big shot.
He's showing up.
He hasn't been there in 16 or 17 years. He hasn't been there. No, I'm not kidding. He hasn't been there in a long time. I'm dead serious.
Yeah, and we might have to have on the spot. We're gonna do it. We have to grab an interview with your man Matt Cavanaugh. We're gonna grab him too. When he'll be there. Obviously, we'll grab him at the tailgate.
Matt'll be at the game, right? Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
That's a good idea. So
we might have to bring in your guy, the guy who did the video.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, we'd be in the parking lot before the game at the tailgate.
Oh, now you come up with a fucking good idea.
Grabbing guys and interviewing them.
Holy shit. I'll call him. What's his name? Martin Scorsese? I forget it.
Scorsese we're going to get. Yeah.
And if he can't make it, we're using sticks.
Sticks. We still need sticks. Don't call them sticks. I'll get in trouble. That's no good. Then you don't like it. Sticks is...
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Signing off.
Smalley, we'll see you later this week.
Thank you, man. Say hello to the
Good
goat.
episode.
Thank you, Goat. You're the best, man. I love you.
All right.
He's waving. The Goat is waving. All right.
There she is, Cheryl.
All right.